Amid the bustling crowd, the lively chatter of vendors mixed with the clatter of a busy marketplace. The warm scent of freshly baked bread and ripe fruit filled the air, creating a vibrant scene. But in the middle of all the noise and movement, a pair of sad eyes watched silently. A young German shepherd, thin and abandoned, tied tightly to a cold metal post. It didn't bark, it didn't struggle, just sat there waiting for something, or someone. Then a little 5-year-old girl suddenly stopped in her tracks. Her bright, innocent eyes met the dog's sorrowful gaze. In that moment, everything was about to change for both of them. What happens next will truly touch your heart. If you love heartwarming stories of kindness and compassion, hit that subscribe button and share this video to spread the love. On a sunny Saturday morning, little Lily, just 5 years old, was happily strolling through the busy market with her parents, when her gaze landed on the German shepherd tied to a post near a vendor's stall. Her mom, Sarah, also noticed and followed her daughter's eyes. Sarah sighed. Lily had always had a special compassion for animals, especially those in needed help. "All right, sweetheart, we can go over and take a look, but stay close to me," Sarah said gently. As they approached, Lily slowly bent down, only a few steps away from the dog. "Hey there," she whispered, extending her hand gently. The dog perked its ears and sniffed the air cautiously, seemingly trying to figure out the little girl's intentions. Lily inched closer. "You look so sad." "It's okay. I'm here now," she whispered. Sarah observed her daughter carefully. She knew Lily always had a unique connection with animals, but this dog seemed especially fragile, more so than any animal Lily had ever encountered. "Lily, be careful, honey," Sarah warned. "It might be scared." Lily nodded but didn't take her eyes off the dog. She then noticed a vendor nearby, who seemed to be the dog's owner. The man was busy serving customers and didn't appear to pay much attention to the dog. Lily stood up and walked over. "Excuse me, is this your dog?" she asked softly. The vendor glanced at her briefly, then shrugged and coldly said that the dog was useless. No one wanted to adopt it, and it was just taking up space. Lily's heart sank as she heard the vendor's indifferent words. "Can I pet it?" she asked. The man just shrugged nonchalantly. Seeing this, Lily turned back to the dog. The dog carefully observed as Lily slowly extended her hand, gently touching its rough fur. What happened next was astonishing. Rather than pulling away, it gently leaned into her hand, its tail wagging softly. Lily smiled. She could feel a connection starting to form. In the following weeks, Lily and her parents made regular trips to the market. Each time, she spent time with the dog. She named him Max, and over time, their bond grew stronger. Max seemed to recognize Lily from a distance. His eyes would light up every time she appeared. He would stretch toward her, his tail wagging nonstop, as if Lily was the only person in the world who cared for him. Lily's parents quickly noticed the special connection between their daughter and Max, although they knew that adopting a dog wasn't easy, especially one that had been abandoned and might need a lot of medical care. They couldn't ignore Lily's determination. One evening, as they watched their daughter curl up in her mother's lap, whispering about her dream of bringing Max home, Lily's parents made a decision. They would try to buy him. The next morning, the whole family went to the market. Lily eagerly ran to Max, while her parents approached the vendor. "We want to adopt this dog. If you no longer want him, we can take him home," they said. The man paused for a moment, then laughed. "If you want him, take him. He's worth nothing to me." He waved his hand impatiently, eager to be rid of the burden. Lily's heart swelled with joy. She gently unhooked Max's leash and whispered softly, "You're going home with me." On the drive back, Lily sat next to Max in the car, her little hand continuously stroking his fur. Max gently rested his head on her lap, a silent gesture, but one full of trust and comfort. Lily thought she had rescued an abandoned dog from the market. But what she didn't know was that Max, soon to be a familiar name, would change her life in ways she could never have imagined. Bringing Max home was just the beginning of a whole new journey. The joy of rescuing Max filled their hearts, but it didn't take long for the family to realize that the real challenge had only just begun. His matted fur and the sharp outline of bones under his thin skin were clear signs that Max had endured a difficult life, and that was reflected in his behavior. At first, he was very timid and reserved. Max was cautious in his new environment. He would startle at sudden movements or loud noises, even flinching when adults tried to pet him. Clearly, his past had been far from peaceful. But Lily didn't give up. She spent every moment she could with Max. She would sit beside him, read books, or simply tell him about her day. Strangely, the small size and gentle voice of Lily seemed to reassure Max. Gradually, Max began to show signs of trust. He would lean into her hand every time she petted him and even started following Lily around the house. However, his behavior remained unpredictable. Sometimes, he would become frightened, shrinking back for no apparent reason. Lily's family knew they needed help from a professional. They reached out to a local animal behavior expert, Dr. Mark Reynolds, who had experience working with dogs suffering from psychological trauma. Dr. Reynolds came to their home and carefully observed Max's behavior. "This dog has been through a lot of suffering," he said solemnly. "His unusual reactions are the result of the trauma he's endured. What he needs most right now is a stable and loving environment." He explained that Max would need plenty of patience, consistent training, and most importantly, time to feel safe again. He provided the family with a training plan focused on positive reinforcement, helping Max gradually get accustomed to new experiences without feeling threatened. The training process was slow and challenging. There were days when Max made noticeable progress. He responded well to commands and even occasionally joined in playing fetch with Lily. But there were also times when he would fall into a defensive state, growling or avoiding contact if he felt cornered. However, one thing was clear: he never showed any aggression toward Lily. One afternoon, while playing in the yard, Lily suddenly saw Max approach her with a ball in his mouth, his tail wagging furiously like a fan. This was the first time Max had initiated a game. Lily's heart swelled with joy. "You want to play?" giggled, tossing the ball. Max raced after it, barking excitedly. But at that moment, a loud noise erupted. Max startled, darting through the fence and disappearing from sight. Jack and Sarah sat quietly on the porch, watching. The journey to help Max heal was far from over, but the relentless patience of the entire family was beginning to yield results. As the weeks turned into months, Max's behavior gradually improved. Lily's boundless patience and unconditional love had started to heal the mental scars of his past. One bright afternoon, Lily's laughter echoed through the yard as she played. Max happily chased the ball, his tail wagging continuously, showing a joy he had never known before. On the porch, Jan and Sarah sipped iced tea, a sense of peace washing over them as they watched the scene before them. In that moment, they couldn't help but marvel at Max's transformation from a shy, fearful dog into a loyal companion, full of life. But then, that peace was suddenly shattered by a loud noise. The neighbor's car started up, causing their cat to panic and leap over the fence. Max reacted instinctively. He charged toward the cat, barking fiercely, chasing it wildly. Max stopped. Lily shouted, running after him. Her small legs struggled to keep up. In the chows, Lily didn't notice a car speeding down the road. Jack and Sarah's hearts nearly stopped as they saw their daughter chasing after Max. They screamed, but their cries were drowned out by the roaring engine and the frantic barking of the dog. Voiceover. Before we continue the story, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much. In that split second, Max's protective instincts kicked in strongly. He sensed the danger long before Lily even realized it. As the car raced dangerously close, Max spun around and shot like lightning toward the little girl. With a powerful leap, at the critical moment, Max lunged and pushed Lily out of the car's path, just in time. The screech of tires echoed on the pavement as the driver slammed on the brakes. His face went pale with panic as he realized what had almost happened. Jack and Sarah rushed to their daughter's side. "Lily, are you okay?" Sarah nearly choked on her words as she scooped her up. Lily was stunned but unharmed. She hugged Max tightly, tears sparkling in her eyes. Max stood close by, his entire body tense, like a watchful protector. But as soon as Lily embraced him, Max snuggled into her gently, licking her face lightly, as if reassuring her that she was safe. Jack and Sarah looked at each other, their hearts still pounding with fear, but also filled with awe at Max's actions. From that day forward, Max's place in the family was firmly secured. No longer just a rescue dog with a troubled past, he had become a loyal protector, an irreplaceable member of the family, willing to do anything to keep those he loved safe. One day, while walking down their familiar street, Max suddenly stopped. The hair on his neck stood on end, his body rigid. A low growl rumbled from his throat. Lily looked up and saw a man approaching. It was the vendor from the market, the one who had once chained and abandoned Max. The man squinted as he recognized the dog. A cold smile briefly passed across his face. "So, this is where you ended up." His voice was sharp, laced with mockery. Lily tightened the leash on Max, feeling his tension. She knew she had to stay calm. "Max is my dog now," she softly but firmly. "You can't take him back." The man snickered. "He was my dog first," he replied arrogantly. "You have no right to take him." "Then go ahead," Lily countered, her voice steady. "We have evidence of how you treated Max. You'll never get him back." The man glared at her, lips pressed tight. After a tense moment, he turned and walked away, muttering something under his breath. Lily let out a sigh of relief. She knelt next to Max and hugged him tightly. "It's okay, he won't hurt you anymore," she whispered. Max gently nuzzled her shoulder, as if he too understood that he was truly safe. The encounter shook Lily a little, but at the same time, it strengthened her resolve. She knew she had to stay vigilant and protect Max from anyone who might try to take him away. When she told her parents, they reassured her that the whole family would always support her and protect Max in every way. On a sunny Saturday, the local community organized a pet fair and dog competition. Lily's family decided to attend the event. This was the perfect opportunity to showcase Max's progress and enjoy a day filled with fun. When they arrived, the atmosphere at the fair was lively. Colorful booths stretched out, and dogs of all breeds mingled with their owners. Excited barks echoed everywhere, mixed with cheerful laughter. Lily eagerly looked around, curious to see how Max would adjust to this energetic environment. One booth in particular caught her attention. It was the skill demonstration area for tracking and obstacle courses. Lily's eyes widened with excitement as she watched the other dogs tackling the challenges. Running through tunnels, jumping over poles, and using their sense of smell to find hidden objects. She turned around, her eyes sparkling with hope. "Mom, can we try it?" Lily asked, her voice full of excitement. Sarah smiled and nodded. They walked over to the booth, where a friendly trainer greeted them. "Would you like to see if your dog has any hidden talents?" he asked, his eyes bright as he looked at Max. Lily nodded eagerly, her heart full of curiosity. She looked down at Max, gently placing her hand on his head. "Do you want to try, Max?" Max wagged his tail, his eyes lighting up with anticipation. It seemed like they were both ready for a new challenge. The trainer led them to the obstacle course area. The course was designed with tunnels, jump bars, and weaving poles. A fun challenge for Max. Lily gripped the leash tightly, softly whispering to her dog beside her. "You can do it, Max." The trainer observed Max and nodded. "Let's start with some simple exercises to see how Max performs," he suggested. Lily led Max to the starting line, her heart racing with excitement. She had never trained Max on an obstacle course before, but she had a strong feeling that today would surprise everyone. Bending down, Lily whispered into Max's ear, "Are you ready?" Max's ears stood up, his tail wagging furiously with excitement. When Lily gave the signal, Max surged forward with determination. He breezed through the obstacles with incredible agility and grace. Max leaped over the bars with ease, weaving through the vertical poles as accurately as a professional athlete, then dashed through the tunnel at an astonishing speed. They couldn't believe how a dog that had once been abandoned could perform so excellently. As Max crossed the finish line, applause erupted across the yard. Lily beamed with pride. She had always known Max was special, but today he had proven that he was not just an ordinary dog. He was a dog with incredible talent and extraordinary determination. However, from a distant corner of the fair, a set of eyes was watching them. The man from the market, the one who had once abandoned Max, stood silently, his eyes filled with calculation. He watched Max shine on the course, far surpassing anything he had ever imagined. News of Max's hidden talents quickly spread throughout the fair. People who had once seen him as just a rescued dog now looked at him like a true star. Lily's family received numerous invitations from trainers and obstacle course clubs. Everyone was eager to help Max reach his full potential. Lily bent down to hug Max, whispering, "I've always believed in you. And now, everyone else believes in you too." Max gently licked her hand, as if to say that he too believed in himself. But what Lily didn't know was that someone wasn't happy about Max's success. This discovery opened a whole new chapter for Lily and her beloved dog. They began training at a local club, where Max quickly became one of the trainer's favorites, thanks to his remarkable progress. However, that joy didn't last long. The excitement over Max's newly discovered talents was soon overshadowed by a troubling development. Max's former owner, enraged by seeing his success, started to escalate his threats. He appeared at the park during their training sessions, standing off in the distance, watching them with a menacing look in his eyes. Lily's family remembered how Max had looked when they first brought him home. Matted fur, a skinny, bunny frame, and a sad, hopeless expression. They also kept the medical records from the vet, proving that he had been severely neglected before being adopted. During the training sessions, Max's former owner grew increasingly aggressive. He yelled loudly in the park, declaring that Max belonged to him and that he would take him back by any means necessary. Lily's parents became more and more concerned for both their daughters and Max's safety. They knew it was time to take action to permanently protect Max. They reached out to an animal rights lawyer, Patterson. In their first consultation, she listened intently to their story and then nodded with confidence. "You have a very solid case," she said. "The key is to gather as much evidence as possible about Max's abuse, and to show how well he is being cared for now." Jack and Sarah immediately got to work. They gathered all the photos, veterinary records, and even videos of Max when he was first adopted, showing the clear contrast between an abandoned dog and one that was now full of life. Not only that, but they also had witnesses. Those who had seen Max chained and abandoned at the market. The trainers at the club, who had witnessed Max's miraculous transformation. To the vet, who could attest to Max's past malnutrition and abuse. All were willing to testify if necessary. The legal battle to protect Max was set in motion. With all the evidence in hand, Lily's family was determined to prove that Max was not just a rescued dog, but an important member of their family. They continued to collect more proof. The photos of Max when he was first rescued, matted fur, exposed ribs, and eyes filled with sadness, were now placed next to the latest photos, where he appeared healthy, happy, and full of energy. They had veterinary records showing Max's health improvements, along with testimonies from neighbors, friends, and trainers. People who had witnessed his miraculous change, but most of all, Lily wanted to contribute to this fight. She wrote an emotional letter to the court. "Max is my best friend. He saved my life, and I love him so much. Please don't let anyone take him away from me." Lily's letter clearly expressed her deep affection and the unbreakable bond between her and Max. Amid all the tension of the lawsuit, another challenge loomed. the local obstacle course competition. This wasn't just a contest, it was an opportunity for Max to prove he was no longer the abandoned dog from before, but a strong, intelligent, and lovable dog who deserved to be loved and cherished. But would the competition go smoothly? And would Lily's family be able to keep Max by their side forever? Despite the growing tension from the upcoming lawsuit, Lily and Max continued to train. Every time she saw the former owner lurking nearby, her heart would race with anxiety. But she wouldn't let fear take over. Her love for Max and her determination to protect him made her stronger. Finally, the competition day arrived. The air was filled with excitement. Dozens of dogs and their owners gathered, ready to compete in various categories. While waiting for their turn, Lily noticed the hostile gaze of the former owner from the stands. He was standing there, watching her and Max, his eyes filled with a challenge. Lily took a deep breath, placed her hand on Max's head, and whispered, "We can do this, just like we practiced." When the announcer called their names, Lily and Max stepped into the arena. In their eyes was a strong determination. They weren't just competing for a title. They were fighting for a future that Max truly deserved. The crowd fell silent, the tension thickening in the air. Lily raised her hand to signal. Immediately, Max sprang forward, diving into the competition with incredible speed. He cleared the jump bars with ease, weaved through the poles with astonishing precision, and shot through the tunnel like a bolt of lightning, making the audience hold their breath in awe. As Max and Lily crossed the finish line, the crowd erupted in applause. Lily beamed with pride, her face glowing, while Max wagged his tail enthusiastically. The judges were deeply impressed. One of them, a famous dog trainer, approached Lily. "You and Max make a wonderful team," he remarked. "Max is an exceptional dog, and you've done a great job training him." Lily hugged Max tightly, knowing that the dog who once been abandoned had finally found his true worth. But the joy from the victory didn't last long. The final day of the try had arrived. Lily gripped Max's leash as they walked into the courtroom. On the opposite side, Max's former owner sat with a scowling face, muttering something under his breath. Attorney Patterson confidently stepped up to present their case. She emphasized Max's remarkable progress since being cared for by Lily and her family, presenting evidence of his past neglect and abuse. The judge listened attentively, reviewing the photos, medical records, and witness testimonies. The courtroom held its breath, waiting for the verdict. In the tensest moment, Lily's letter was aloud to the entire courtroom. "Max is my best friend. He saved my life, and I love him so much. Please don't let anyone take him away from me." The sincerity of her words brought tears to many in the room. The judge set the documents down, turned to Max's former owner, and declared, "The evidence clearly shows that Max was abandoned and mistreated while in your care. Since being adopted, he has thrived as happy with his new family. In the best interest of this animal, the court has decided that Max will remain with them." A moment of silence filled the courtroom. Then, Lily broke in joyful tears, hugging Max tightly as tears of happiness streamed down her face. The whole family exhaled in relief, knowing that they had won the final battle. Max was not just a rescued dog, he was a true member of their family. And now, no one could separate them. Max's former owner protested vehemently, but the judge upheld the decision. His actions prove that he is unfit to care for any animal. The judge stated firmly. The court officially rules, "Max will forever belong to the Lily family." A collective sigh of relief filled the courtroom. Lily hugged Max tightly, her face full of happy tears. But the story didn't end there. After the trial, the judge ordered an investigation into Max's former owner. What was uncovered next shocked everyone. The investigation revealed a startling truth. This man had a long history of animal abuse. Not just Max, but many other animals had suffered at his hands. Witnesses began to speak out, recounting the cruel actions they had witnessed. The story quickly grabbed the attention of local news, and the word spread like wildfire. Public outrage surged strongly. The details of Max's tragic past united the community. Neighbors, friends, and even strangers stood by Lily's family. They pledged to do everything they could to prevent this man from harming any other animals. Max was not only saved, but he became a symbol of hope and compassion. Lily not only rescued a dog, but she also helped change the community's awareness about animal protection. And from then on, a story of compassion, friendship, and justice inspired many people, because every living being deserves a loving home. Have you ever helped a stranded or neglected animal? Do you believe that love and patience can heal a broken heart? Share your story in the comments. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to spread the message of compassion for the little souls out there. Lily and Max's story is not just about a rescued dog. It's a testament to the power of love. Max was once abandoned, once endured deep pain, but thanks to care and unconditional love, he found a home, a real family. And more than that, he became a loyal friend, an irreplaceable protector in Lily's life. The bond between humans and animals is priceless. An animal once scared and hurt can learn to trust and love again, as long as there is a warm enough heart to welcome it.